Every single team in the NRL sets to the goal and dreams to be on the biggest stage, the grand final. Well, you have to suspend disbelief for this video because I'm about to go wild and give you the next 10 NRL grand final all the way from 2024 through to 2034. We might have 18 teams, we might have 20 teams. Right now we have 17. Based on 17 teams, here's who will be on the big stage at a core stadium, potentially Suncorp Stadium, in the next decade.
Subscribe to Entertain House.
This year's grand final prediction for mine is the Brisbane Broncos taking on the Sydney Roosters, a battle between Tedesco and Walsh, a battle between Carrigan and Radley. There are a lot of competition, potential for this 2024 season. We've only seen one round plus the trial, so it's hard to judge. It's going to be even harder to judge, obviously, the next 10 years. But going into 2024, I think the Broncos, they bounce back off that loss, and I think they hand the Roosters the runners-up spot because I think that the 2024 premiers will be the Brisbane Broncos. It seems like a slow start for them. At the time of filming this, they haven't played the Rabbitohs, which I think they'll win tonight. I think they will struggle a little bit this season, but I still think that ultimately, if they can knock off the Panthers in the prelim or the Roosters can do it, the Broncos will win the 2024 grand final. In 2025, I think we'll see a grand final rematch after 9 years between the Melbourne Storm and the Cronulla Sharks. The Sharks, they haven't been able to beat top 8 sides recently, but I think they're in for a cracker season next year. I think new signing Adam Fanua-Blake, a great forward pack, and an all-fit firing Nico Hines in career best form leads the Sharks to finish in third. Melbourne Storm finish in either first or second because I have got them hosting this grand final, but I do have the Cronulla Sharks winning the 2025 premiership in what will be considered a bit of an upset because players like Pappenhausen, Munster, Grant, they'll all be fit going into this one, but the Cronulla Sharks win the grand final next year. Well, it was 1986 when Parramatta won their last premiership. It's 2026, a 40-year hoodoo going on that 40 year. The Panthers hosting the Eels. And I think Parramatta win it here. I think 2026 will be the year of the Eel. I think they've been building towards it for a number of years. This is where you need to suspend disbelief. But look, I'm going to say Zach Lomax is there as the fullback of Parramatta. Griffin Neame from the Cowboys acquired after Junior Paulo leaves the club, and Nick Kotrick on the wing for the Parramatta Eel, and they win the grand final against the Penrith Panthers, who haven't been in the grand final for a few years. It's their time to shine. Parramatta end the drought. In 2027, I have the Brisbane Broncos hosting the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Broncos still have the likes of Haas, Walsh, Carrigan, the 2024 premiers, and I think that they do it again. Adam Reynolds will be gone by this time in retirement, and my prediction is that Jack Cogger will lead the Brisbane Broncos to this premiership, a very similar team to 2024. A few players have left, Souths go runners-up, and the Broncos have a massive season. In an injury-riddled season and an amazing story of adversity and depth, the New Zealand Warriors win their first premiership in 2028, defeating the Cronulla Sharks, the premiers of 2025, and the Warriors fans go absolutely nuts, and the Warriors win the grand final at Sydney. 2029 sees a massive grand final that NRL fans have been waiting years for. The oldest rivalry, the Roosters and the Rabbitohs go head-to-head. No Joey Manu, no James Tedesco, no Latrell Mitchell. Stephen Crichton with the Sydney Roosters and leading them to a premiership. The Sydney Roosters defeat the South Sydney Rabbitohs in another heartbreaking loss for Rabbitohs fans in a grand final. Well, new players, same result as the 2030 grand final will see the Brisbane Broncos host the Newcastle Knights, and the Broncos go into this one as favourites, winning 2 grand finals in the last 5 years. But It is the Newcastle Knights who win this one. Shades of 2023 show for the Broncos again, leading 22-12 and losing the game because the Hunter riles back into it and wins it 29-28, ending their short premiership drought as well. Now, the Dolphins finish higher than Manly on the ladder and host them in the grand final. Now, the Dolphins, 8 years in the premiership, and here it is, a chance to win a premiership, and they do it. And Ryan Pappenhausen and Tom Dearden are there at the Dolphins for 2031, defeating a great Manly Sea Eagles time, but the trophy is finally coming to Redcliffe in their 8th year. The Dolphins win the premiership. Arch rivals, the Parramatta Eels and the Bulldogs go head-to-head in 2032. Parramatta winning their first premiership in 39 years. But you know what? I reckon the Bulldogs win this one. I don't know who will be playing. I don't know why. But I reckon the Canterbury Bulldogs defeat the Parramatta Eel in what's considered an upset because Parramatta have had a massive season here, obviously finishing above them on the ladder. But it's the Bulldogs. The trophy is coming back to Canterbury. After missing finals for a few seasons and life without Craig Bellamy, the Melbourne Storm pick up Beau Fermor, former Gold Coast Titan, who leads them all the way into the grand final. This one's heartbreaking for the Gold Coast Titans fans who have finally done it, finally made a grand final. But the Melbourne Storm, unfortunately, find a way to win this one, and the Storm win the premiership in 2033. And 10 years from now, it is the Dragons hosting the Brisbane Broncos. The Broncos, quite dominant in recent years in these grand final. I think they've got a great young squad. But I think that the Dragons win. 10 years from now, they break a 24-year drought. It's been a long time coming for the Dragons. Lots of poor years over the years. Few good ones, few close calls, 5th position. But this is a year where they have a cracker, finish in second, and they end up taking the premiership back to Illawarra, Cogra, Netstrata, win wherever they want. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are the next 10 NRL Grand Finals. I'm going to make some more fun little videos like this. Let me know if you think any of these will be the actual premiere. Let me know your Grand Finals for the next 10 years, and I'll try and stay on YouTube so we can compare it 10 years from now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Again, at 5,000, we are going to do a NRL membership giveaway, and I'll see you guys later.